Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له أشهد أن محمد عبده ورسوله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا هادي له من يضلل فلا هادي له لا إله إلا الله لا شريك له. We seek refuge in Allah, the Almighty, subhanahu wa ta'ala, highly glorified is He, from the insinuations and the suggestions of Shaitan. We seek refuge in Allah from the evil of our own nafs, from our own soul. We ask Allah to guide us, for if Allah does not guide us, we have no guidance. We ask Allah to protect us, and if Allah does not protect us, we have no protection. We thank Allah much. We are forever grateful to Him to allow us to be living today and being able to end that life, in this life, to worship Him sincerely. We ask Allah to forgive us ahead of time for any mistakes that we may make. For if we make any, it will be ours, for Allah is perfect. He makes no mistakes. He did not decide to do anything. Allah says in the Quran that He says, Kun fayakun, be and it is. He doesn't have a process for Himself. He has a process for the human being. So we thank Allah much This Jumah day is the most important day of the week, for sure. And if you hadn't come to that realization, you keep coming to Jumah, and we will realize that it is the most important day this week. Praise be to Allah. We thank Allah for His mercy. I wanted to start by asking the Ummah, so a Somalian brother that I'm close with, asked that we offer prayers up for his mother who may not make it today. So let's remind you, keep her in your prayers, for she is our sister. Whether we know it or not, whether we know her or not. She's Muslim. He was born Muslim, so she's our sister. And the Prophet Muhammad, when you become earshot of some difficulties, you always have a tender place in your heart for another Muslim brother or another Muslim sister. Praise be to Allah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Today we would like to deal with the Surah Ghafir. Ghafir. Everyone needs some ghafir, some forgiveness. Praise be to Allah. What a better day. You couldn't pick a better day to ask for forgiveness. So we dealing with the Surah, forgiveness. And we want to go here straight through what I have, so I won't try not to get lost. But if Allah takes over, then we have probable cause. It says, Hameen. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Hameen. Tanzilu al-kitab min Allahi azizu alim. Ghafirin andaza ghafirin nambi wa khali al-tawabi shadidan al-iqab zi tawli la ilaha illallah la ilaha illa huwa illahi masir al-masir. It says the revelation of the book is from Allah, the mighty, the knowing, the forgiver of faults and the acceptor of repentance, severe to punish, Lord of the bounty. There is no God but He. To Him is the eventual coming. Al-Masir. It says, Ya ayyuhalladina amanu taqullaha haqqa tuqatihi wa la tamutunna illa antum muslimun. Yeah, O ye who believe, fear Allah, the only God in reality. Fear Allah. Why did Allah add that? The only God in reality. Because somebody else said it was some other gods. But Allah says they're not real. They're fake. That's what that means. That He is the only one in reality, and the other gods that you heard about, or the ones that you may set up for your own self, they're fake. For instance, if you set up your looks, that's fake. As a god, it's fake. You might be beautiful, or you may be handsome. But in reality, if you're setting it up as a god, it's fake. For instance, if we set our children up and give them more time than we give Allah, in reality, that would be fake. If you're raising them up to the status of Allah, Don't go out here saying that I said don't love your children. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if you are into child worship, knowingly or unknowingly, Allah is saying to you and I that that's fake. If we put another interest above the interest of Allah and His purpose, Allah and His purpose, the messenger and his purpose, that would be fake also. If you put your job above Allah, that's fake. If you put your car above Allah, that would be fake also. So when Allah says that He is the only God in reality, He's reminding us that there are still people that put their interests above His interests. So Allah goes on to tell us politely, for those people who are inspired like that or on the way to not understanding what's first, He says, who is it? He asked the question, who is it that will loan to Allah a beautiful loan? Who is it? He's asking us to ask us. Asking us to ask us. Who is it? Who will? Which one of us will loan to Allah a beautiful loan? After He is reminding us that any God that you put up beside of Him is fake. Now He want to know, if you come to the conclusion that He is the only God in reality, then which one of us will loan to Allah a beautiful loan? He didn't say, loan to me a loan. He said, loan to me a beautiful loan. Jamila. So now He's describing the type of loan that we should be loaning Him. Jamila, or loaning to Allah, is a beautiful loan. What is a beautiful loan? What is a loan, period? First of all, a loan is something that you will get back, isn't it? It's planned for you to get back. Now, some of us don't pay back. So Allah is letting us know, look, this loan, I'm going to give it back to you. We know on an ordinary basis you stingy. You don't like to give up nothing. You don't like to pay zakat. You don't like to pay your bills at home. You don't like to give to the miskin. You don't like to give to the poor. You don't like to do none of that. Now I'm making you a deal. Loan me a beautiful loan. If you one of those guys or one of those sisters or brothers, if you're one of them, will you loan me a beautiful loan? So we would ask, well, Lord, what is a beautiful loan? What is a loan, period? We know that you're supposed to give it back. But the loan from us is to loan all of ourselves. Not just yourself. You're supposed to be able to loan all that you're worth. All the material worth you got, all the spiritual worth you have, all the mental worth that you have, you should be able to be willing to loan all of that for the purposes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Him and His messenger of Allah, the perfect one. So we know that what we're supposed to loan? No, we're supposed to loan all of ourselves, all of our possessions should be used for the purposes of the pleasure of Allah. We say, fi sabillah, brother. I'm going to do it fi sabillah. In real life, everything we do should be fi sabillah. If we're loaning to Allah the beautiful loan. Now, what is the beautiful loan? We understand now that the loan is loaning all of ourselves and all of our assets and everything that we have. Why? Because Allah is the one who allowed us to get it. Allah is the one who positioned us in whatever position we in to get it. You did not do that on your own. I know you think you're smart, but your problem is that you're the smartest one in the room, and that is bad. Whenever you're the smartest one in the room, you're in trouble, because when you listen to the smartest one in the room, then you have no counsel. The only counsel you have is the limitation of your own brain. So if your brain is limited, you have, like we used to say, a person who represents himself in a court of law has a fool for a lawyer. What are we talking about here? We're talking about forgiveness. Al-Ghafir. So we have this beautiful law. What is the beauty? The beauty is when you do it with your pleasure. You know how? You open the door and nice lady walks through, or older sisters especially. You like them because you know you're getting manna from heaven. And you helping this sister open the door for real. The younger sister might be able to go through. They both do the same respect. But those times when you get the real pleasure, when you know you've taken the burden off of somebody. Well, the Prophet Muhammad used to say, if you saw a stick in the road, and remember now, think logic and think metaphorically, the stick is something, any impediment. Any impediment that holds a person back from accomplishing what he might want is taking a stick out of the road. You like that. So you say, with my pleasure. So what is the difference between loaning Allah a loan without your pleasure and with your pleasure? The one is that the residue of what we talked about first, stinginess. All right, I'll go ahead and give it to you. That's not the beautiful loan. The beautiful loan is, hey, what else you want? What else can I do for you? Now, this is in the context of reality, because Allah says, save yourself first and your family from the nar. Ataka nar. It has, have respect for the nar. Don't get burned up giving your life away. Matter of fact, Allah says in the Quran is that don't give to the extent that it stretches you out here, and don't hold on to the extent that it clings to your neck. That's the balance. That's ummatul wasta. Everything is a balance. Everything is a balance. So Allah says, loan to me. Which one of y'all or you people will loan to me a beautiful loan? Praise be to Allah. So, Ghafir. Now we're establishing some of the reasons for forgiveness. We need to be forgiven. We say, astaghfirullah. You know, astaghfirullah is in the first person. It means not only, I'm asking for forgiveness. You know, a brother say something and we get it twisted because we don't study enough, for one, and we misuse language. The Arabiya for two, and you don't have to know it to misuse it. What you should do, what you use, you should know. Okay, that's the way it is. What you use, you should know. So we say astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah is in that first person where you're asking Allah to forgive you. So if somebody else said something, it's not you say, you can say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. But astaghfirullah is asking you forgiveness. The reason why it becomes permissible is because further down in the logic, it shows you that you are asking Allah, please don't let me make the same mistake this guy just made. What he said out of his mouth was crazy. Now you're not seeking forgiveness for him, you're seeking forgiveness for your own self, that you won't travel down the same road of mistakes. So we thank Allah, so we ask Allah for forgiveness. We seek forgiveness. We seek it out. We seek the opportunity. When nasta'inahu not only means to seek, when nasta'inahu means to implore God's forgiveness, to really beg for it just about. It is. No, it's not just about it. It is begging for it, imploring it over and over again. Especially that perfect person. That perfect person in his own mind, the one who has an exaggerated opinion about his own self, is the one should probably seek forgiveness more, and it's for him. And it's for everybody, but it's especially for him. Why? Because he don't think he made no mistake. Praise be to Allah. So Allah, in this religion, which is so beautiful, He sets us up to ask, look with a priority. In the morning, prioritize. What is the priority of a Muslim? The priority of a Muslim is to glorify God, the one and only, the first thing come out of his mouth. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. First of all, we need to know none of these things are haphazard. All of them are strategically placed in the religion and strategically done. There's no haphazardness in Al-Islam. Al-Islam is math, and the math is exact. There's no almost in math, because they got too many fractions that you can apply if it's almost. It's just not any almost. Al-Islam is mathematics, and mathematics is Al-Islam. Our first teacher, who only went to the 3rd grade, taught us that. And they end up saying he was the most powerful black man that was on the face of the planet at that time. And still is. So we say, I seek refuge in Allah from the rejected enemy, but astaghfirullah is seeking forgiveness. Now, this forgiveness, if we can set it up good enough to just accept the fact that we all need forgiveness, then we can work from that premise. Now, if I got somebody in the crowd who is outside of that, he have to just hang on to the conversation, because I'm assuming, one, that everybody in here is smart, and everybody's in here smart enough to know that they need to be forgiven. Now, for somebody outside of that, this one is not for you, okay? This is for the people who Allah says, the mukhlasina lahudin, those who are sincere in the religion of Al-Islam, sincere in his faith, in the faith in Al-Islam, sincere to where we don't only say we are Muslims, we are Muslims in deed, in practice, in word, in deed. That's the mukhlasina lahudin, those who take religion to be sincerity. They asked the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam what religion was, and he said it was sincerity, being for real, to be straight, being straight up, like we used to say in the streets. Straight up, man. We was crooked, I don't know what. Straight up, man. But at least our hope was there. You see how the millah of Ibrahim was still in the culture and it was buried so far deep. His millah was still speaking from that hope that we would experience a community that would be straight up, a decent, loyal, honest community that would be straight. And I would say most of our people start off that way. They want to be straight. Praises be to Allah. So Allah sets up, forgive us the capacity for forgiveness first so he can move us to the next progression. The next progression for the Muslim is for us to seek excellence. Muhassin. Muhassin. You may have friends named Musin, same word. Excellent, not good. Excellent. Don't let the shaitan talk us out of being excellent. Your Excellency, Sayyidin. your excellency. For real, you want to be excellent. So he sets it up with the forgiveness. If you're able to forgive, then you have Allah has already given us the asani taqween. He's given us the symmetry. He's given us the natural born capacity to be excellent. That is beautiful. The natural born capacity to be excellent. So we strive for excellence. We set it up by being able to not only forgive somebody else, but forgive yourself. Matter of fact, start at home. Forgiving yourself first. Everything starts at home now. Al-Islam is a logical deen or religion. It don't call for you to do nothing to the outside that you don't do to the inside. And it doesn't call for anything that you do outside first that you don't do inside first. It's an inside job. It doesn't become an outside job until you're ready to go outside. You're not ready to go outside if the inside ain't right. That's like telling some. It says the prophet, the Quran asked us, "Are you one?" I'm paraphrasing now. You know the verses if you read any of the Quran. He said, "Are you asking somebody to do something that you're not doing your own self?" Don't be a hypocrite. Praise be to Allah. So Allah says that we strive for this excellence. That's one part. The next progression is for purity. Listen to this. This scares the average man. The average man, this scares him. Because purity is supposed to be associated with only females can be right. In some instances. And then in some instances, they say only men can be right and females is the liar and the cheater. It's a mixed up, shook up world. But in Al-Islam, there is the expression mukhlisina lahud-din. One who is sincere in the religion strives for not only excellence, but purity. This purity is not just purity like pure, you don't do nothing. Purity in Al-Islam means you do something. Purity in Al-Islam means you engage the whole world. You engage the spiritual world, you engage the material world. That's purity. You have purity is expressed in zakat. Zakat, that's a form of purity. Then you have a purity expressed that means or suggests that we're dealing with more ethical principles, and that's tahara. Tahara. We want both. We want zakat in the material world, and we want tahara in our ability to be ethical. That means to be above just being right. Yeah, he was right, but he wouldn't have stole that money. He was right before he stole the money. At the point he stole the money, he was wrong and he was not ethical. See how you can be right in the next minute and not be ethical too? So Allah says that the vision for the Muslim should be one who strives for excellence and one who strives for purity. And in that purity is in all of our affairs. You see how far we have to go? We got a long way to go. You see where Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had already arrived? He was best before he got revelation. He did not have to be told to do good. See, when we got converted, we had to be told to do good too. We could say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah and still continue in the habits that we had. We had to be brought out of something. Now, did Muhammad have to be guided? Yes, he had to be guided. But his heart and his purity and his excellence was already known across the peninsula of Arabia 40 years before he even got revelation. Now this 40 years is a number, and it is a landmark in the lives of human beings. It sure is. Once you get to be 40, you got to cut the crap, man. You got to quit playing. You could play all the way up to 39, technically. 40 also represents 4 measures in which Allah gives all of creation. Yourself, the creation is all based on 4 measures and 4 progressions. It's not just 40. You drop that 0 and you come into the right logic. It's 4. Praise be to Allah. So, we have what the Muslims should be about. Now let's, okay, we have to make a little transition here. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. So, listen. Let's transition to this community. Not this one. Your life. My life. My life in community. Let's go there. Let's shift gears and go there. We know we think we're so individual. And we take, I would say, ignorant pride in thinking that that's the way you're supposed to be. Pride. Pride will have you messed up. And you can stay proud and too proud for a long time. Too proud. You have a lifetime of not submitting. You want to be able to look over your life and say, at one time I know I was too proud. But I remember when I transitioned and was more acceptable. And to be acceptable, I made myself to be acceptable. And I accepted people more. You know, people don't have friends because they're hard to befriend. When you ain't got no friends, you're a lonely soul. Something's wrong with you. When I don't have no friends, something is wrong with me. It's not the other person because there ain't nobody. How can it be somebody else and you don't even have a friend? It don't even make sense. Well, she did that last 20 years ago. I lost that friend. Before you know it, over the years, you done lost every friend you had. You're not friendable. You can't be befriended. And so there's, you know, sometimes you hear this braggadocious statement, and it's ignorant to me. I ain't got no friends. I don't need no friends. I'm all to myself. That's the problem. Remember what we said? When you're the smartest person in the room, you doggone in trouble. I swear, if I find out that I'm near the smartest person in the room, I'm calling somebody. Because I already know I'm giving myself bad advice. I'm listening to myself and I'm going, well, how many people going to say no to yourself when you want to position yourself a certain way? No is not accepted. You want to say, yeah, yeah, yeah. You want to find a rationale for everything you say and do. Look, this is about being Muslim. Muslim in Al-Islam is about bringing the heaven of Al-Islam down to your heart. Go up. Go up. I know you only been to the 5th floor. And I know we think it ain't no more floors up there. We used to find the trap door when we was in the streets. Find the door and go on up. There is a 6th floor and a 7th floor. And if you double them, it's 14 floors. Then you come on down and establish yourself. That means Allah said it in the Quran. He said it is 7 in you and 7 above you. And if you're going to catch hell, you're going to catch hell through the 7 openings in your body. And if you're going to go to heaven, you're going to go to heaven through the same 7 openings. 7 and 7 is 14. It is 14 floors. But we want the 2 7s that allow us to extend our 5 senses. Stretch them, expand them, go up, go wide to the breadth of your 5 senses to increase the power of your intellect. Who said there was a limitation on your intellect? Who said that being a double doctor in whatever is the end of your learning? You see, the doctor's still learning, right? Well, we thought doctor's degree was if we read the picture right, they said the doctor degree is the highest one, right? Islam does not accept that. No, the Prophet said learn from the cradle to the grave. What are the scholars learning in Al-Islam? If they have read the Quran thousands of times, recited the Quran thousands of times from the front and back by memory, read all the hadiths, know the fatwas, know the fiqh, know everything that is written. Why are they still reading? Because the whole universe is the real doctor. The whole universe is beyond all that. And we're supposed to grab from that and always stay open to the universe feeding us and birthing us a new birth over and over and over again. I don't want to be the same person this time next year. And I bear witness that I was not the same person this Ramadan that I was last one. I bear witness to that. I was my own shaheed. Nobody had to tell me. Didn't Allah say that's what it would be? You'll be able to witness yourself. And all your parts will testify for you or against you. Praise be to Allah. I know it worked. But it only works if you work it. Islam, Hayya ala Falah, is a gardening tool. It's a tool for production. It's a tool that Falah is a farmer. It's the same thing. Falahin, I think it is. It's a farmer, same word. You got to dig in, y'all. Young people. And this is the transition that I wanted to make. I just walked us over a bridge to get to it. This is the transition. First of all, young people, it must take place. Guess what? You don't have a say in the matter as far as it taking place. Creation or creation evolved logic is going to make it take place. As we evolve in our culture, that culture is going to evolve a logic and it has to take place. Allah's movement of nature is going to make it take place, and you see it all over. All this stuff about climate change is Allah moving his nature to create his logic that he wants for the human being. Now, as the earth moves and science moves, what happens to the human being? You mean to tell me he's not moving? You mean this is going to be the brightest, this is going to be the duha for 1,000 years from now? No. This is duha for now. The brightness. We just came out of Eid al-Adha, which was supposed to be the brighter. Do you know it's supposed to be bigger than Eid al-Fitr? We haven't came to that yet. You see, overall where some of us have been, believe me, Eid al-Adha is the biggest. We haven't got here yet. So how can we say we're so informed about Al-Islam? When our own culture here in America, We've been only, 50 years around, but 50 years, you should be done got it by now. You say you got some information that will enlighten the people, like they enlighten the people during the time of Muhammad, when it spread and all the intellects went up. You say we got the same information. Well, how come we can't even recognize that Eid al-Adha is bigger and brighter than Eid al-Fitr? Something tells me we don't know our religion like we think we know it. And so the transition has got to be this. We've been the beneficiaries of great knowledge. Knowledge comparable to scholars who study years and years in schools of academia, okay? We said we got that now, and we do. Philosophically, logically, metaphorically, esoterically, we have it, okay? But we haven't figured out the basics. So our basis is built on 5. The prophet said, take care of 5 before those 5 betray you. And people say, okay, take care of 5 prayers. The prayers is symbols of the 5. The 5 is the logic of the common sense 5 senses. Remember I said the common sense 5 senses. Regard and protect those 5 senses. Elevate those 5 senses. Discipline the thinking. Listen what I'm saying. Now I know because I done wrestled with this. Before I came up here, I know what I was going to say because this is what I've done. I mean, this is not that I'm the only one doing it. I'm recognizing that you have to. You have to. Discipline your thinking from thinking a certain way. See if you can do it. How easy it is to do. Something you've been thinking about every day or come across your mind every day. Stop that thought from coming to your head. See if it's easy. Oh, man, it ain't easy. But we can do it, and we do it. And you know how we do it? We empty this little dusty bottle out that we got, this glass that's got film all on it, with that filmy water in it. You empty it out, be humble enough to empty it out, and just sometimes show up and say, I don't know nothing. Just say, I don't know nothing. Empty that bottle out and fill it up with new information. And we'll have better opportunity to discipline the thinking. The thinking is what gets us in trouble all the time. It's not the environment. The environment plays a big part, don't get me wrong. You got to have it, and it's got to be nurtured. But the thinking inside the environment is the key. It's like a seed. Allah says that the human being grows like a plant. So all you sisters who take care of them plants, every time you look at them, just see yourself. When you got to go water that plant, remember you got to be watered too. Water from heaven, sister. Okay. Okay, the transition. It must take place in the individual first. Remember, we're talking about now, today. We're not talking about some camels and none of that. We're talking about today. Al-Islam today, this moment now. Why do we have it? Why do we accept it? Why do we say we Muslims? We have to reform. Just like we changed the thinking, we have to reform. From where we are now. You say, oh, I'm too old to reform. Well, to me, the way the logic comes down, the older you get, the more enthusiastic you should be about reforming. Why? Because the clock is going tick-tock. It's going tick-tock. And guess what? The new information is this. And I say new because I think we live years thinking that, okay, if I die, then, it'll all be good. No, we going like we are. In the position that we are. Hey, all I'm saying is it pays for us to change from where we are right now. The transition is this. Young people, you can run, hide, duck, dodge, whatever you want to do. You can, as long as you say you're Muslim, you obligated to take the baton. You obligated to take the baton. Don't worry about the next guy, what he gonna do. Man, you can't go to heaven on the buddy plan. Believe me, you gotta go to heaven like Allah said you're gonna come bare just like you came. I was gonna say something else, but I'll just say bare. You get it. By yourself. And your responsibility is your own. And that ducking and that rationale on those guys got it. Who in the hell are those guys? There ain't no more those guys. Because it's a diminishing return. You can go up so far in your reality, in your life. And then if you don't have that willingness to pass the baton, you're going to die running with what you got. Trust me, the wisdom is to pass the baton. But young people, while you are here now, and I've just told you, and you're going to be told from now on that you ain't going to get out of it, your only option is a bad option. Your only option is to go back out there in the street with that hellfire. Believe me, it's on fire every day. All you have to do is turn channel 2. If you want a quick synopsis, if it's on fire, just channel 2, boom, turn away, because in about 10 minutes, they're going to show you 12 killings, rapings, everything. If you think it ain't on fire and you won't be subject to it, then okay, then I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about the Mukhlisin Allahuddin. Those of you young people who's serious in religion, what are you waiting for? Look, while the elderly are competent and productive, sit up under their wing. And I don't mean you got to say, but you know what? You cats is too proud. Y'all too proud. Some of y'all, and look, if it don't include you, it ain't include, but see, I got to put it in the air so it don't make sure I don't miss nobody. Too proud because you're so busy about wanting to be a man like you. Remember, I'm repeating what I hear. I'm a man like you. I'm a man like you. I don't want to say you should, because I think I know a little bit more about being a man if I'm 40 years older than you, if I'm 30 years older than you, if I'm 20 years older than you, and I don't care if you got summa cum laude out of Harvard. I don't care. I don't care if you went to Oxford. I don't care. That stuff don't intimidate me, because we have lived a life. We know what it takes to stay in this life. Something little will blow you off. Your wife will blow you off. Your husband will blow you off. In a little bit, in a minute, in a fraction. And you'll steady be reciting Al-Fatiha. Allah says in the Quran that some of those rocks, some of those stones, that water just roll right off of them. Just because you hearing Al-Islam don't mean it's just going there. You got to dig in for this. So young people, I can't wait. You can't go out here and say Raheem, brother Raheem was in the way. I'm your brother. I sure ain't in the way. Because I understand that running with baton, I run long distance when I was young. Guess what? I know when to pass the baton. Okay? I know when it start killing me, somebody gonna get the baton. But guess what? We gonna protect it. In the first we used to say, I'm gonna stand my post.
Amen. Allahu Akbar, man. Allahu Akbar. Yes, sir.
And guess what? The soldiers that came along and held this thing up, they feel the same way.
Yes, sir.
I know I can speak for them. Okay? Sisters
Yes, sir.
did the same thing. We know we can speak for them. So you got now, and you got to milk wherever you are. I ain't saying us. Please don't confine it to this. Then your mind is small. Everywhere. Take advice from those who already know. And it ain't nothing that you're doing that we didn't already do. Nothing. I have heard. I got my ear. My antennas are strong. I got sons of my own and daughters of my own.
Yes, sir.
And it just tickled me. You know the only thing that has changed? Logic is the same. Reality is the same. Morals is the same. The only thing done change is the speed in which we get it. So don't come to us like we don't know what's happening. We don't know everything, but we know what's happening up to where we are. I bet you don't know what's happening up to 67, do you? Now, this ain't for the guys that's straight now. I'm telling you, don't go out here all messed up and shook up. If you're on the right page, you're on the right page. You're supposed to be there. I'm just hoping that you get there a little faster.
Yes, sir.
See, I always tell, give advice, say, look, man, don't wait till, you ain't got to break nobody's record before you get straight. Oh, he was messed up until he was 50, so I'm 49. I got one more year. Look, man, get straight as soon as possible, okay? Whatever you got, dig in and get rid of it. Everybody got something, bro. Don't worry about the everybody. I hear this, all this. I ask you, why you do this? Why do you do this? Because everybody do it. Look, everybody be going to hell at the same time. You can't go with the everybody do it, the popularity contest. He do it, so I do it. No. Allah says, oh man, look, this for you. You got yours, your gifts, your potential. Everybody got the potential to rise up as high as they want to go. Male and female. Don't ever give up on your whole life. It's your life. One last thing I'd like to say. Let me see if I can capitalize this. Get the knowledge while you can, while we're competent. And I'm trying to stay competent, y'all. I take Prevagen every day. And I don't look. I take something for my eyes and my doggone brain. Because I don't think I would like losing either one of them too fast. So you young people, get it while you can get it. Older people, give it while we can give it. Sisters, don't criticize younger sisters unless you give them the book and the hikmah. Yeah, you want to give them the book, but you don't want to give them the wisdom. Give them the hikmah. Pull them aside. Don't get them in the crowd because they're going to show off on you. Look, you want to be Muslim? Now see, this is only for the people that want to be Muslim. Let's separate this. If this conversation is not for you, put plugs in your ear. This is for the Muslim that want to be Muslim, that chose it freely. Be Muslim because people expect you to be Muslim. Do something wrong and crazy. And the first thing they're going to tell you, I ain't no Muslims did that. And you know what you tell them? You said, man, right now I ain't Muslim. Don't say, no, yeah, man, we do that every now and then. We get a little something. No. So be proud of what we have as a community. This is a community that was given to us as a gift from God Almighty. Now, we know other people say it, but guess what? It's for real. Guess what we have? We have Salat. All of us at the same time. We fast all over the world, all of us at the same time. And when we say Salat, we all say the same words. We have Hajj that we go to, that we're invited to at least once. You get a trip to Jamaica and you get a trip to Hajj. We pay the zakat. Man, look at the life that we wake up living with an agenda. First prioritizing that Allah is Akbar. First and foremost, setting the platform for the way we want to live for the rest of the day. And the lifespan of a Muslim is only between his prayers. Because we're going to die between one of them, bro. You ain't guaranteed to make the next one. So for us, time is of the essence all the time. Male and female. Look, this is what I made a decision. No more petty gripes for me. No more. Don't bring me no petty nothing. No more. And I ain't saying you bring them to me. Just know that when you want to get petty, don't come around me. Because my clock is ticking. And I don't think I want to indulge in pettiness for the rest of my days. I'm making a conscious decision. Man, please. All that room up there, you know what? Look up in the air and see where the most room is. You look on the earth, it's crowded. You look in the sky, there's plenty of room. So why can't I elevate myself up there? Be picking coonies down here. Remind me of picking cotton. I think the jeans still remind me. Every time the petty conversation comes, it's like picking cotton for the man. Okay, now, speaking of the man, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, pay yourself. He ain't the first one who said it. Have your own. Get properly trained. And then go get your own. You know, who is these guys around here that got something now? Mr. Cole, Mr. Ford, Mr. Chevy. No, wasn't no man named Chevy. Mr. Ford, Mr. Simmons. These were guys like us, young people. I'm giving it to you now. Guess what? And they stayed down in whatever they was doing in their craft. They stayed down in their craft until they got the science down pat. They didn't care how big that guy was you was working for. That's that guy's thing. We wasn't trained like that. You get all you can get. All the knowledge you can get, but I believe every second you should be thinking about establishing something for your own with your name on it. That's freedom. That's when you can stand up. Man, let me tell you something. In my whole life, I've worked 365 days for somebody else and a day. I was in Washington, D.C. and worked one day and walked off the job. So out of that whole time, and believe me, I wouldn't trade my life in for nothing. Allah has showered his blessings. And you talk to any entrepreneur with any kind of tenure in this community, we were small, but we was free. Yes, but some of them is big and free. So whatever you do, bro, plan for your life established on your own. Don't let them put you to sleep with all that crap. Learn the best that they got, take it, and you establish your own. Because the guy that you're doing it for did it for himself. And if he would be honest with you, he would tell you, get what I got, and then go make a world for yourself. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. Oh Allah, please keep us away from the fire. Bless us and give us the best of this life and the best of the life after. Ameen. Takbir. Takbir.